for what, to my mind, and for reasons we'll talk about, I believe is truly still a very major fundamental transformation. At heart, when we talk about crypto, I believe we're talking about a new architecture of money. I think it's that fundamental. I think it's much more than some funky new tradable asset class.
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the future digital financial infrastructure, showing you all that in these documents, these elite organizations, these systematically important institutions, they are for a fact telling you all what is happening, what you should be preparing for. They're not hiding it. The mainstream media, at the end of the day, are the ones suppressing this information. This information is readily available to each and every single individual, so you choose to find it. We've been attempting to show you all what is happening behind the scenes by reading these documents by these major organizations like Boston Consulting Firm, IMF. We have some Digital Euro Association documents for you all today. So if you all enjoy those video breakdowns, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. We do appreciate the love and the support. We're going to start here with this executive summary from this document from Oliver Wyman Forum, 4 Visions for the Future of Digital Money. This is a very interesting intro, so pay attention. It says, money is about to undergo fundamental changes in the way it is created and used, potentially unleashing a dramatic reordering of the financial system.
It's unlocking that final barrier to unleash innovation into the market, because we know the technology is there, but it's not operating at scale. We know that the system is super inefficient.
But also to unleash the fury of what this technological and regulatory disruption is bringing.
Just showing you guys, again, devil's in the details. They utilize the same terminology in their documents and in their panel discussions. It goes on to read, while volatility has shaken cryptocurrency markets over the past year and caused a string of failures, many parts of the digital asset ecosystem continue to advance largely unaffected by the turmoil. We're going to pause right there, and I'm going to play a video clip of an individual, ex-CFTC chair, go on to say the same exact thing.
What I would say is I don't see this as a great indictment of crypto. I see this as the same old in financial markets, how important trust is. And for institutions to earn the trust and how quickly that trust can dissipate if those proprietors of trading platforms and trading houses squander that trust, and how quickly it dissipates away. For what, to my mind, and for reasons we'll talk about, I believe is truly still a very major fundamental transformation. At heart, when we talk about crypto, I believe we're talking about a new architecture of money. I think it's that fundamental. I think it's much more than some funky new tradable asset class.
Then it goes on to talk about the rise of digital assets and distributed ledger tech continues to have the potential to upend the competitive landscape, creating new, efficient, nimble competitors, but also offering incumbents and potential new lease on life. Executives and policymakers need to stay focused on the opportunities. So if a major organization, a systematically important firm like Oliver Wyman, right, they're telling executives and policymakers need to stay focused on opportunities, don't you think as a retail investor you do as well? I'm just saying, pay attention to detail. They tell you these things in advance. Now back to the mention of the fact that we are in shakeout. It says right here, while volatility has shaken cryptocurrency markets, check this out. You all remember the document from the Boston Consulting Group I showed you guys from 2023, Reimagining the Future of Finance. They go on to confirm, by the way, this is put together by a bunch of representatives from the Boston Consulting Group, right? They go on to confirm right down here, this is a short-term correction. What are they talking about? Again, the volatility that has shaken the cryptocurrency markets over the past year, okay? We believe that the challenges fintechs have recently faced represent a short-term correction. In other words, a long-term growth story, as the fundamentals of the sector haven't changed. Essentially, we are witnessing a shakeout and tampering of enthusiasm. I'm just attempting to show you all that they are transparent with individuals. People don't think that that's the case, but they openly tell you these things, okay? You just have to figure out how to find it. So now we're going to get into the digital transformation. I've been talking about the digital agenda, digital transformation, what falls in the line and the scope of these new technologies, these digital technologies, okay? So before we get into this fact sheets on the European Union, where it goes on to talk about the digital agenda for Europe, right? Check this out. This is a Broadridge document. And if we scroll up here to the top of this document, it's labeled Digital Transformation Enters a New Phase. Here's what comes next. I've read some of this document before on the CYPRX YouTube page, but I just want to clarify what we're referring to when new technologies or digital technologies are discussed, because a lot of people will be like, oh, well, it doesn't say blockchain. It doesn't say distributed ledger tech. It just says digital technologies. Well, here, Broadridge put out information that clarifies what this is. So it goes on to say right here, the role and impact of next-gen technologies. We are on the cusp of a new chapter in digital transformation driven by more powerful technologies. Well, what are those technologies? It says right here, next-gen tech comes of age. Data analytics, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and blockchain, along with DLT, now deliver tangible return on investment. Blockchain and distributed ledger tech are now creating cost savings and real business value in the longer term. We'll see stronger use cases for decentralized finance. I love how this is now the second document where it mentions the long term, right? This document from Broadridge mentions long term, and then this document right here from Boston Consulting Group says otherwise a long-term growth story. So it's again telling you all to have a forward-looking perspective and look down the road, not to have an immediate lottery fixed mindset, okay? Focus on utility, do research, and pay attention to this digital transformation. It is absolutely mandatory, and I'm going to show you in today's video breakdown documents from the IMF where they're openly telling you all this. Excuse me, I had to take a sip of water. Okay, so check this out. Digital agenda for Europe. We're not making this up. They're openly telling you, like I've said, this information is readily available. If you want access to all this information, you don't have time to go research it. You don't have time to go look up all those documents. There's hundreds actually probably honestly at this point, thousands of documents in the CYPRX research chat that we've accumulated over the past 2.5 years that you all have direct access to. The CYPRX researchers update the CYPRX research chat on a weekly basis, dropping hundreds of fundamental documents, video breakdowns that the mainstream media is not presenting to any individuals out there. Again, if you want access to that, visit cyprxtrading.com. So achievements, it talks about the first digital agenda that took place from 2010 to 2020 time period. The first digital agenda focused on better access to digital goods and services for consumers, businesses across Europe by providing the EU, specifically focused on the EU because this is from the EU Parliament, an advanced system of user rights and protection on consumer businesses. I'm just reading this to you to show you that we're not making this up about the digital transformation. It is happening. Then it talks about the second digital agenda for Europe, which is the phase that we are in right now. That is from 2020 to 2030. Okay. The second agenda focused on profound changes introduced by digital technologies. We just went over the Broadridge document that talks about what those digital technologies are, okay? And it goes on to say, the essential role of digital service and markets is in new EU technological and geopolitical ambitions. Now, right here, this is what I want you to focus your attention on. It says, at least 80% of all adults, this is what they're projecting, should have a basic digital skill, and there should be 20 million ICT specialists employed in the EU. So think about that for a second. Are you familiar with artificial intelligence? Are you familiar with distributed ledger and blockchain tech? Are you familiar with cloud computing, data analytics? Okay, if you're not, now during the bear market is the time to educate yourself. If you are not, I'm telling you all right now, within the next 2 to 5 years, 10 years, obviously, of course, max, you will fall behind. You will be one of those individuals that's sitting in on, maybe your child's at school learning about blockchain and distributed ledger tech, in 5 years from now, learning it from your child, okay? You don't want to be that individual. Take the initiative, figure out what's happening behind the scenes, because the mainstream's not going to go out and tell you this. However, here at CYPRX, we're trying to be transparent with you guys to wake people up. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is happening, and you need to be able to transition and migrate in this digital transformation, or you will get left behind, okay? So moving on, let's go back over to the documents. Now, again, supporting this EU Parliament website. Again, this is directly from the EU Parliament.eu. We're going to go ahead and we're going to expand this, and we're going to get into some more of these documents. So this is a document from that website that you can download from the European Parliament, and talks about digital Europe, okay? Now, Stronger Digital Europe. We've talked about the 2025 agenda. I've shown you guys multiple documents in the past that mention the significance of the year 2025. So I went on to read some very interesting excerpts from this document. Building a framework for sustainable Europe that leverages the potential of digital technologies. We now know what those digital technologies are. Okay, again, it's a broad spectrum of things. Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, blockchain, cloud computing, the list goes on. You guys catch the drift, right? Well, check it out. It says, technology alone, let's zoom in. Technology alone is merely a tool. It is up to our society to make sound use of it. So again, they're telling you in the documents that you should be utilizing this technology to your advantage. Okay? That's what it's for. Utilize it for what it's used for. I cannot, oh man, it's just crazy that this information is right in front of people's face, but they will just blatantly ignore it and think it's a conspiracy theory. Okay? Inclusion. It says, are Europeans empowered in the digital age? Our Digital Europe vision aims to empower European citizens through digital competency and knowledge. We believe that only by enabling society's digital understanding and competence can we divert fear of technological developments into creativity. Our citizens must be not only users, but creators of innovative technological design, right? Then it says right here, digital should enhance a non-biased society, and technologies like artificial intelligence give us the chance to fight. So it's like, you guys remember a video breakdown in the past where I showed you all that the artificial intelligence openly said that those that adopt this technology will survive and those that don't, ... frowny face. Yeah, that came directly from the International Monetary Fund. I did not make that up. An artificial intelligence that opened the spring meeting back in April 2023 of the International Monetary Fund openly said to the conference, those that adopt artificial intelligence will thrive, and those that do not, ... frowny face. That's literally all it said. It's insane. Okay. So I thought that I'd share those little tiny 2 excerpts from this document for you all. Now we're going to go over to this one. This one was an absolute banger find from the CYPRX researchers. You cannot make this up. This is from September 2023. Updated document labeled Time for a Transformation. And I'm not going to disclose or talk about, because I'm going to upload this to YouTube, what's on the front of this, but just take a second and freaking look what's looking at you right in your face. Okay? You all see this, right? This is the cover that they chose for this document, labeled Time for a Transformation. Look at all the symbolism in this cover. Pause it, screenshot it, and annotate it. Okay? Analyze it. It's mind-boggling. They could have chosen any other graphic for this cover. They chose this one of all things. Come on now. You can't make this up. Now, it's going to blow your mind even further what this document talks about, right? Check this out. It says, a better regulatory environment will bring the region more investment and innovation in digital finance. We know that regulatory clarity will bring a level playing field for these banking institutions to adopt these new digital technologies, right? So we're looking forward to that. I've shown you guys roadmaps talking about the 2025 agenda, talking about the 2025 timeframe. It's absolutely essential to your sustainability over the long term that you pay attention to these things. Talks about digital remittances have grown rapidly since the onset of, I'm not going to say this word out loud. You guys can pause the screen and look right here, right? Digital remittances have grown rapidly since the onset of this, but most remittances transfers still involve cash at one end or both ends. That is set to change, okay? That is set to change over the next couple of years, mark my words. Central bank digital currency rollouts, cash will still be around for some time, but it will start to decline, okay? Cash will start to decline long term. Okay, here we go. Nonetheless, amid these challenges lie new opportunities to secure inclusive growth and create sustainable jobs on the back end of the, you guys see that word right there, right? Climate change and digital revolution. This includes digitalization, green investment, new economic markets, the energy transition, and the changing nature of work. So they're literally telling you all flat to your face with the freaking all-seeing eye on the top of their document labeled Time for Transformation that there are opportunities, okay? I'm not telling you this. The freaking International Monetary Fund is telling you this, and I'm presenting this information for you all to react to it. Okay? It's your choice now what you decide to do. I've shown you all proof in the pudding so many times. Check this out. This is where it's going to get interesting. And this is the last little piece of this fundamental document that I thought that I'd bring to you all. Again, updated from 2023. Shout out to the CYPRX researchers putting in an unprecedented amount of time to wake people up. This is going to blow your mind. Look at this. It says, to promote digitalization. And I need you all to really open up your mind and just think about what is being read to you right now. Okay? To promote digitalization, governments need to create a strong enabling environment. What do you think happened starting in 2019 up until now? What did the governments do? They created a strong enabling environment for this digital transformation. You all seeing, they're openly telling you this in their documents. This means enhancing digital infrastructure, upgrading digital literacy, i.e. educating individuals. Remember the previous document said that you need to get educated, right? And developing skills in the workforce. Such measures would alleviate adoption costs, especially for small and medium enterprises. Then it goes on to say right here, change is a journey. Reforms will take time to bear fruit. Remember how in the previous two documents, i.e. this one, right, where it goes on to talk to you about long-term growth story, and this one, where it goes on to talk about the long-term perspective, right, vision for the future, okay? It's again mentioning long-term, right? Reforms will take time to bear fruit, reiterating that long-term perspective that you should attempt to acquire when doing this research. If you decide to invest in this space, regardless of what niche you choose, have a long-term perspective. It's going to take time, but it is happening for a fact. And it goes on to say, but to ensure their success, some basic yet critical ingredients must be in place. Based on past experiences across countries, government's full ownership is key for the success and durability of reforms. Such ownership will help governments overcome resistance to change, so they're openly admitting that there will be a resistance to this transformation. The second ingredient is transparent communication to inform the public of the necessity of change and to build support for difficult choices. That is starting to happen now. Colleges all across the board are starting to teach blockchain and distributed ledger tech. That's where it's going to start, and in the back end of institutions and large organizations. Then once all of these major colleges, large institutions, and organizations fully adopt the technology and quote unquote flip the switch, when all of these digital assets and artificial intelligence stock companies and whatnot are way too expensive for the middle and lower class to afford, only then will they start to trickle this education and information down to the lower and middle class for you all to grasp these concepts. That is why it is crucial for you all to learn now, okay? It says this requires a real two-way dialogue in which governments receive and incorporate feedback from key stakeholders. People should feel that they have the power to influence outcomes and not be subject to policies that benefit only a few. Progress in structural transformation is not linear. So think about it. The two documents before literally told you that we are in, it says volatility has shaken the cryptocurrency markets. This one openly admitted that we are in a shakeout phase or a correction. This document is now just confirmed that progress is not linear. That means in an upward trajectory. That means that there are bullish moves and bearish moves, pumps and dumps, i.e. highs and higher lows on the pullback. You get it? They're telling you this, okay? Oh man, this is crazy. Many governments have attempted to deliver sustained and broad change only to be confronted with unfavorable external shocks, difficult domestic conditions, and internal and external conflicts. In addition, any perception that reforms are rigged to benefit a privileged few can hinder momentum. For these reasons, sequencing is key. It's what? Are you all freaking seeing this? They're literally telling you it's a sequence of things that are going to happen. Sequencing is key. Starting with measures that deliver broad gains and capitalizing on quick wins to overcome skepticism and build a track record. Do you all freaking see what happened in 2019 to 2021? A major bull run. Please tell me you all are freaking seeing this right now, okay? It says there will be times of rapid progress and times when changes stall, which is what phase we're in right now. Original plans should be ambitious and flexible enough to adjust to changing circumstances. And then it goes on to quote a former US president, right? So now that you all have full freaking disclosure, I don't know how else to make this more clear for individuals. Take it upon yourself to further educate yourselves. Many blessings to you all. Again, if you want access to these documents before I read them to the general public so that you can educate yourself on what's happening on all these digital technologies, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, blockchain, DLT, all the crypto projects that we're interested in here at CYPRX, you guys have access to that by visiting CYPRXtrading.com, joining our monthly program where you guys have access to all of our CYPRX research. Many blessings to you all. As always, be cognizant. I cannot stress enough. Hopefully these documents showed you all the severity of the situation and what we're going through right now. I'm not making this information up. This is directly from the International Monetary Fund, a document that they just recently put out, okay, in 2023, labeled Time for Transformation. As always, many blessings to you all, and I'll see you all in the next video breakdown.